right? So now the white man has submitted what can submit you, right? And so now over a period of time, when you keep seeing how powerful he is and how strong he is, there's an embedded fear that resonates in you, grows in you. First, it was a planted seed, then it becomes a harvest, a tree. And that tree, what it signifies to you, is you know your place, right? You know your place. So when we were going through a lot of the slavery, it was always the attitude what a white man had, you know your place. You know your place. And then they give you the evidence that if you don't get in your place, we will easily crush you, you ant. You are nothing. And we've seen them crush us over and over again, right? So there are certain times when some brothers just get sick and tired of it, and they're going to try to fight. They're outgunned, they're outmatched. There's way more people, way more of them than it is you. But they get riled up and they just said, "Man, this ain't even worth it. I'm gonna go for all I know." Right? And so what happens is when he goes for all he knows, he fights. He might kill a couple of people of who he considers his enemy, right? But now when they kill him, not only do they kill him, they come back and kill a couple of people from the plantation that he comes from too. And then not only that, but they make things harder from the plantation that he comes from. So not only is it going to affect him, if maybe he has a family in that plantation, they'll probably sell his children off and sell his wife off, right? Right? And they're going to do this in front of everybody else and let them know no matter what, you are powerless against us. And we will not only take it out on a person that has tried to challenge us, we will take it out on every single one of you. Hence, yous are going to get us in trouble, right? And so now when people rise up, you got other blacks that are terrified from what they've seen, right? And before they allow that guy or that woman, right, to make it bad for their kids, they're in a situation that's awful anyway, right? But they feel the awful situation. At least they have their kids around. At least they can see their husband once in a while, right? And that's paradise to them. So now when they see this happening over here and they know the potential of that guy rising up, right? It's not going to just end with him. It's going to be taken out on you. Maybe they might sell your husband and kids and something. So now that fear, right, gives you the wherewithal to feel like this is about me now. And so they go tell the slave master what's about to happen. And that's happened a zillion times, right? So now over hundreds of years, what do you have amongst our people? What do you have? You have a whole bunch of fearful people, right? It's like, when they do cattle and they brand cattle, okay, well, they branded those things in our mind as African Americans. We are branded, right? And it's not that we're just branded. Your adversaries knows exactly your weakness because they know your fear. You didn't hear that's footprints right there. They know your weakness because they know your fear. Do you understand? They know your weakness because they know your fear. And so now there's millions of us all over the country. Millions in a state of hopelessness. Sure, they'll let a couple of our people get ahead. Sure, they'll let a couple entertainers, right, that produce a message that's denigrating to our culture and to our people in the United States, right? So they'll let you get past as long as you are saying and preaching and speaking something that's denigrating, that could break up, separate, and do more damage on the damage that they've already created. As long as you're going along with the program, as long as you're docile, you're good. And we'll let you get some money. So now we're encouraging you. Now it's something to be encouraged. Now you're dealing with a broken people, a people full of fear, a people that have been dominated, a people that are so afraid. They don't want to go say anything against their brothers, right? But the preservation of life trumps law, and they feel like, man, all I got is what I have, right? And so when black movements start coming up, like the Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam and all these other black movements that were rising up in the 60s and before then, right? It was easy for the system to infiltrate them because they know your fear and they know your weakness. So it was easy for them to be infiltrated, simply easy. Because there's millions of us willing to participate to save their own skin, because that's all they know. Because you've been broken down to that's all you have. You got nothing, but the little nothing you have is enough. Is enough. And so 40% of the nation of Islam were filled with confidential informants. They broke up the Black Panthers and killed them all and lied on them and did all the things that they did, use their power and their authority. And they loved doing it because they wanted to continue to show what they showed back in the past, that we take your biggest buck and we show before all of you that your best minds, greatest thinkers, greatest motivators, greatest orators are nothing to us. And so it kills the spirit in you. And you grow up knowing that we've presented our best minds, best thinkers, best organizations, and they still have been defeated right before our faces. And the spirit is taken out of you. You got no spirit left in you. All you got is fear. Did you think God was going to forget about you? Didn't I tell you from the beginning that it was timing? You don't think that God saw when he spoke to Abraham and he said, listen, your people. There is no people upon the face of the earth that matches the description that he told Abraham. He told him in Genesis 15, and then back in Deuteronomy 28, there is no people nowhere that matches the description that the scripture prophesies about, but you. But you had to go through it. And you had to match every bit of Deuteronomy 28, all the way down to the iron yokes around your neck. There is no people in history that matches that. Because the Most High knew through our disobedience, he would allow us to come into this country. Because that's what he told Abraham. Your descendants will be taken into a foreign country that's not their own, and be enslaved there for 400 years. But he gave us a caveat. He said, but that ain't the story. That ain't the end of it. But after those 400 years, I will punish the nations that have done this to them, and they will